today's video. Today I am setting up my art journal. I am so excited. I bought this mixed media B5 sketchbook. It's called Magnolia. It's from Mellow Days at mymellowdays.com. It's a French stationery store, so super excited. I find being in Canada, sometimes ordering from Europe and ordering from the US is the same shipping. So I definitely grabbed these as soon as I saw they came out, and I'm super excited. I'm going to be using this as an art journal. It's 300 GSM, bleed proof, acid proof sketchbook. So yeah, I'm going to be using this as my art journal, and today I am going to be setting up my first page for the cover. And yeah, I'm super excited. If you want more information on the book, it's 70 pages, hot pressed, 50% cotton. And again, it's a sketchbook from Mellow Days called Magnolia. There are two colors, I believe. I got one of each color, and I am super excited to set this up with you today. As you can tell from my intro, I'm very excited about this layout. No, but seriously, I want to use this art journal time to kind of talk to you more about some stuff that's on my mind. So I've labeled this series Art Journal Chat, and we're gonna get into it. So I've had a lot of new followers over the last little while, so thank you so much to everybody. And if you're new, welcome, and if you've been here since the beginning, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. But I am Natasha. I am a lettering artist, designer, letterer. This looks interesting. Wife, mom of 2 boys. I have 3 cats. One that is driving me crazy. She's the one you've seen all the videos. There she is. And yeah, so I graduated university with a degree in psychology and a minor in English literature. And if you ask me what to do with a minor in English literature, I have no idea. Let me know. I went on to work in tourism and accounting, and now I'm living the creative life and even getting to do graphic design, which has been so fun and such a cool learning experience. I currently live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, after having lived in Vancouver, British Columbia, Los Angeles, and San Francisco in California. And yes, after living in those 3 places, we decided to settle in Calgary. And there's many reasons we decided to do so, whether not being one of them. But honestly, it's not that bad. It could be worse. I played volleyball for a really long time at very high levels, up until university. That was an experience in itself. And actually, one of the times I kind of lost my identity, I ended up getting injured to the point where I couldn't go on, and I had to retire from the sport. And yes, at the time, I say retire because it's so much better than quitting. And or in my mind, it sounds better than quitting. And yeah, so once I wasn't a volleyball player anymore, I went through a very weird phase of what am I? Who am I? I actually had to re-record the section because I somehow forgot that volleyball was such a big part of my life. The next time I had a big identity crisis, I guess, was when I quit my last corporate job and we moved to San Francisco for my husband's work. It was just temporary. It wasn't permanent, but it was still, what am I going to do now? And that's when I found creative journaling and art journaling and bullet journaling and what I'm doing now. So it's definitely been a ride. So let me see. I played provincial team volleyball, high school volleyball, club volleyball, university volleyball. I can get into more of those dynamics in a different in a different episode. I can go on about that forever. But in university, when I met my husband, I was working in tourism. The hours weren't ideal, especially the graveyard shifts. And I got the opportunity to work a corporate job with set hours. And the fun part about that job was it was working for my mother-in-law. She was, or my soon-to-be mother-in-law, I guess. She was going to be my direct boss. And it was actually really cool. I really lucked out in that sense. We got to know each other really well and on very many different levels. So basically, she knew exactly who I was and I knew exactly who she was. And so it's kind of nice to have that level of honest relationship with your in-laws. So I'm really appreciative of that opportunity. It was very lonely though. There were 8 of us in the office at first. And I started as a admin assistant working front desk, and then the company did a merger. They acquired another company, and I became an accounting clerk essentially. And then I got into more of the corporate finance as the company grew and gained a lot of experience, which was great. And then my husband got a fellowship, or I guess it was a residency in Calgary. So we moved to Calgary and I started working as an accountant. I was lucky enough to work as an accountant. Again, I didn't have the right qualifications technically, but I had a brain and a work ethic, and that worked. So I started working accounting, and that was in oil and gas. And then my husband got a fellowship in San Francisco for a year. So I quit my job and we moved to San Francisco. I started doing creative stuff. I set up the blog. I set up my channel. I still have a lot of those videos and posts available. So you can check out how rough it started and how much better it is now, even though I know I still have a long way to go. But I just started immersing myself in creativity, and I always wanted to learn modern calligraphy, and that's what I did. I learned modern calligraphy. I got into hand lettering, and then as I was doing more bullet journaling, my illustration skills improved, and now I have my sights set on being a surface pattern designer. I just finished the Bonnie Christine immersion course, and it was so phenomenal. Like, this thing's expensive. It's super expensive. But what you get out of it is just, it's unbelievable. Like, I am chomping at the bit to get going. I'm just getting over strep throat. That's why my video sounds, or my sound is all like weird. Because my throat's not 100% yet. But I'm really excited to get going on that. So if you came from my Natasha Miller Designs Instagram account, welcome. If you're part of my Letters account, you can head on over to my Designs account and see what I'm doing over there. Having a blast. You'll find more digital stuff, more outside the box creative stuff on my Designs account, hopefully. I'm working on it. And then we moved to Los Angeles for a year, and I had my second child. So that was a bit of a transition. I still got to be creative. He was a pretty low-key baby, which was great. But less so, not as much as I wanted to. But it was kind of interesting because if you've ever been to LA, it's just buzzing with energy. It's just got this energy about it. And I kind of miss that living in Calgary. We were recently in Los Angeles. My husband had a conference and I tagged along, and it was really fun being around that energy again. So I would strongly suggest it. So we moved back to Calgary shortly, I guess, middle of 2019. And then, of course, 2020, the pandemic hit, and yeah, I was really able to sit and get to know myself. And so what I got to know is part of what I will be sharing with you in these episodes. So, yeah, I spent a lot of time playing with my supplies and getting to know my supplies and building on my supplies. Please note that everything you see in this video, it took time to get together. It's not like I went out and bought these things all in one go. Not at all. Like, some of the stuff I've been collecting for the last 5 years, 6 years even. Like, the die cutting machine you see at the beginning, I've had forever. I don't even remember when I purchased that. So yeah, probably 11 years ago actually. So definitely don't feel you have to go run out and buy everything and anything. Watch reviews, watch videos. If you see something in my video that you like, reach out, let me know. I do have the full tutorial up on my blog that I have linked down below. So if you want to know exactly what I did and why I did it, you can go check it out. But I am so excited to see you in the next one.